The one that I sent in the group.
Hey, Giorgio, this is the place we like trying to stop.
Guys, you.
The lines are always
like in the group chat today, I sent you some Bacaro places. They call them cicchetti, they are tapas. And this is my favorite. Look at the queue.
Yeah.
But just because right now it's like aperitif time. If you manage to come here like tomorrow for lunch, they open at like at 10 a.m. I strongly suggest it. The tapas, they cost €1. Glass of wine, €1.
No wonder the line is
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
No, that one. Oh, you get the wine there too?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes. I suggested this one. This one is okay, but that one is way better.
$1 for a glass of
That's true.
Yeah, oh, I appreciate
You have a fantastic mom. A fantastic dad.
Fantastic mom.
No fantastic dad.
No. Dad's always learning.
It was like here in Halloween or whatever, they all were wearing masks. People kept dying.
I don't remember. I just remember. Did you watch it without me?
Yeah.
It's Carnival.
What's that?
Carnival.
Carnival, yes.
He remembers these movies, but he never remembers anything about them.
No, I'm terrible. I can't remember any actors' names. I can't remember titles of movies.
I've got a trick.
Oh.
I don't watch movies.
I'll do it. But I wouldn't like that life.
Well, see, see, jealousy will get you everywhere.
What Euro? It's a Euro story.
It was. Oh, I know. It was. They were doing a seance.
Yes.
And one of these.
And it was Pearl, right? And wasn't it?
It was in Venice.
And who was that actress from Harry Potter? Ken.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
But I think from Harry Potter is
He
not
was
the
in Harry
best.
Potter.
Yes, but he was in a lot of other things
That's
that
the
were
only
better.
important thing he was in. Everything else was trash.
Okay.
They're wearing the winter woolies.
Hmm?
I don't think they have to. In Maré.
You're like stressed about it.
Oh, in my opinion, the best place if you want to get the danza, you are four, so that's perfect. It's the train station, because like most of the people they take it from San Marcos. That is like the main, like the main center. If you take it from there, usually it's less busy. Because the train station is only a place in which people they arrive, but then they spread, they go like to the hotel and everything.
Right.
So they don't come back to the train station to take the boat. While the place before the bridge that I showed you today, that I told you.
Yeah,
place
the
there,
glass sides.
that's perfect, and it's really close to the hotel. So tomorrow. Seafood smell.
Oh yeah.
We did walk down here. We did. That's the pearl.
What's that?
Maybe we can't afford it here. 25 euros.
Well, right now we're on the main drag. We go to the outskirts, maybe even go over to Burano. There's a couple of other small little areas too, although they're probably more elaborate because they don't need to have tourists there. Maybe just do a profit share somewhere,
That's the song that introduces the show.
or a timeshare rather. Well, that's the sound of death. You just lost in cards.
Big bark coming. Small dog, big bark. They're clearly on the 18 to 30 today.
Maybe there's a football game on? Yeah.
Stupid hooligans.
And then they fade off.
I can get that excited over a hockey game, or over a soccer game. Not like it's a hockey game or a baseball game. So what basically you can see. No. Okay.
I think we have to force ourselves. We don't have the luxury of being able to just maybe we just all hibernate, until we get to go away. But we're pretty
I think it's where we're
I'm
sitting.
excited to have our first night in Hanover. But we're not on a tour.
We'll take all that wine.
Like sleeping into it.
Just shit there.
A little bit later we have.
Qualche minuto in ritardo ci
No, no, vai tranquillo. Good evening, hi. Buonasera. Ok?
Io c'ho tutto
hai
qui,
tutto
eh?
quanto?
Sì.
Perfetto, allora dobbiamo microfonarli, no?
Ok, sì.
Quanti sono in tutto?
Allora, siamo in 13.
in totale con me.
13 in totale.
Sì, sì, perché c'è un ragazzo
Ok.
Sleeping?
Ok. Sì.
Pretty out of it in the train.
Da dove vengono?
In my head, like the yeah. Plus, when you're trying to think of a color, you just kind of too low. You're like they look that. But I've decided.
Le prossime tappe cosa avete?
No, è l'ultimo.
Questa è l'ultima.
Sì, sì. Sono partiti a Roma, abbiamo fatto la Valdorcia.
Mi hanno fatto prendere i mezzi pubblici a Roma. Confessa. No, so che ci sono gruppi che hanno messo sulla metropolitana.
No, in realtà...
Ci sono stati spostamenti in metro, no? Perché ho delle narrazioni da altri tour.
No, allora guarda, dipende dai tour, però in questo no, hanno il giorno libero.
No, buono per me, perché sennò ti diventa un incubo.
No, infatti perché Roma
Grazie.
è gestibile.
Aspetta che ti do una mano. Sì. Fai tu che sennò faccio peggio.
I'm in the top. Side switch, yep.
Ok.
Aha.
Was falling.
Nice to meet you, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Lorenzo. You should be all set on channel 4. Your device.
Is it working?
That's right. They're here.
We didn't get. None were handed. On the way.
You have the legal wheel on top for the volume. I'm too bad, so I talk loud. You can. Four. It should be already set on 4.
Do we need headphones?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Giorgio, earpieces?
My piece?
Are there earpieces?
No.
Sign language.
Focus really hard.
You know that here you can just speak with the hands.
Stick with the hands. There you go.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Grazie.
I was hoping it's one. At night, and I was only going to put one in.
What?
At night, I was only going to put one in.
Well, no, so one is good while you're doing work and you're listening to something.
Yeah.
Honestly, I use one all the time. They're probably a shorter length than mine, but.
Yeah.
It's not mine. No, it was from the Coliseum. Like the look. I don't even know why I still have it. I guess I just put trash in it first. I was like, oh, it's sustainable.
How do you?
I can hear it.
The end goes
The point?
yeah, back it up. I know.
Really good. That's perfect.
Got my draft.
Do these.
Because that was before I saw it.
Here, okay. Okay. Thank you. You're good.
No worries.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Watch
kidding.
her here.
The last guy we had, I was
Is it really loud?
all the way up because you
For her.
Okay, I'm gonna turn mine all the way down then. I will really loud. And then I'll adjust it to what I need.
You saying the last person that used it would have been hard hearing?
Nei raduni dei You cannot hear.
Are you the right channel?
Perché il canale era il 4 qua, ma forse è bene che gli cambi il device.
Device, huh?
Let's try another one.
Perché me ne dà bene.
Appunto.
Ora è chiaro.
Eccoci qua, potete sentirmi? Can you hear my voice? No?
Sì, sì.
No, you can't hear. Can you hear now? No.
Is the volume on?
Try to change the earplug.
Turn down.
It'll blast you.
Doug.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so I got it. You too. I got it done.
Try with this one.
No, affacciarci, solo affacciarci.
Sei pronto? Ciao, scusami, sto lavorando, non posso. Scusami tesoro, ci sentiamo più tardi. Ci sentiamo più tardi, ciao, 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 ciao.
All the way up. Yeah, really skip.
No, it doesn't work, huh?
No, I think maybe when
We have to change the device, yes.
Don't give her my.
Qua. Senti, a sto punto cambiamo giro perché diventa troppo lungo altrimenti.
Sì, fai te.
Facciamo, chiudiamo a San Marco, passiamo per Rialto.
Bellissimo.
Sì, va bene.
Alle 7:30 devo portarli a cena al Decio Pozzo. Il Decio Pozzo è proprio lì vicino alla stazione, a Ferrovia, proprio vicino a Ferrovia.
Alle 7:30 al Vecchio Pozzo vicino a Ferrovia. Posso vedere la posizione?
Certo.
Just one second, we check the position of your restaurant.
Sono 10 minuti.
10 minuti da qua, madonna. Un cerchio impossibile, non si fa neanche a San Marco questa storia. Il Vecchio Pozzo, per 7:30.
Ma guarda, anche 7:45.
No, certo, loro hanno sempre un margine di tolleranza. Il Vecchio Pozzo,
Fai 7:45.
Vecchio Pozzo.
We'll be eating someplace close to the hotel.
Sì, siamo verso qui, quindi bisogna chiudere Rialto. Facciamo comunque il giro virtuale. Perché tu qua devi andare, devi passare il ponte di Rialto e andare per non fai pure andare alla stazione e poi passare o una o l'altra. Ok? Perfetto, allora chiudiamo, facciamo così, facciamo il giro così. Bene, ok, here we are. Can you hear my voice now?
Yes.
Perfetto, grazie. Ok, very good. We go this way, please follow me. Here in Venice for the first time. No? You've been before?
Yes.
How many times?
Just once,
Just one.
42 years ago.
So you are not. So I can tell a lot of lies in any way.
Oh, yeah, you already did.
You are waiting for the lies.
Sì, sì.
To hear the lies. All right. So let's start with the lies. Venice is sinking. The gondolier is singing. While Venice is sinking, the gondolier is singing. The gondola is black because of the plague, the Black Death. The gondola is asymmetrical because it was a mistake of construction. And many others.
Very good.
Very good. No, Venice is not really sinking. There's a little bit of subsidence, but it's not relevant compared to the problem of the high tide.
Yeah.
Today we mitigate the high tide because when we have these excursions of average 95 centimeters per day between the low and the high, and the tide goes beyond 1 meter and 10 as forecast of the tide,
See?
we rise preventively the sea dams. We rise the sea dams at the mouth of the harbor, and in this way 99% of the city remains out of the water. There's a little bit of water in a few spots, like the famous St. Mark's Square. So it's more the problem of the global warming and the average rising of the ocean.
Yep.
I mean, Venice will be likely to become like Atlantis, to go under the water before really sinking, before being sunk. We are a city on wooden pilings. We have guess how many trees we have under the city. Say a number.
14,000.
14 million. Sì, in una festa da sola. 14 million?
You are almost right. Minus 10, 30 millions.
Okay.
Roughly 30 million pilings, wooden pilings under our buildings, the foundation of the city. Why the wooden pilings? So we have Venice is a city built in a swampy land. Making a city in a swampy land in a site where there is no fresh water is completely insane as an idea. You must be mentally sick. You must have serious mental health issues in a city, in a place like this. So what is the reason behind? The reason is that in this maze of shallow canals and sandbanks, the Venetics, the old name of the Venetians, found a safe place to shelter themselves against the barbarians. So Venice is a consequence of the fall of Rome, of the fall of the Roman Empire, under the pressure of the barbarians who were scared of the water. The barbarians didn't have a clue how to ride a boat. And they were not searching for this horrible place. The barbarian people were searching for land to cultivate, for better climate conditions. They stopped at the mainland, across the bridge. You have crossed the bridge by train today, coming from Florence. And the mainland over there was the place where the barbarians settled. And pushing us across the lagoon. We found a very safe place to stay, and because they were scared of that. And but without fresh water, we needed to find a way. And have you noticed that we have the wells everywhere? Wells, cisterns. So in 1,000 years, in 10 centuries, the city had a population of around 200,000 people, which is not a small number for the standards of the 16th century, but there were more than 500 cisterns to collect the rain and to filter the rainwater, making the rainwater drinkable, potable. No aqueduct. We had no aqueduct until 130 years ago. The first water tap arrived 130 years ago, and the wells became fountains. And then it took other 700 years before the pipelines reached all of the apartments. It was quite complicated. Venice by numbers, 30 million wooden pilings, 400 bridges, 200 canals, 120 islands, and a lot of the canals, they have been turned into streets, like the canal where we are walking now. 200 years ago, this was a very big canal with the gondolas. Reclaimed, so a lot of the land of this city has been reclaimed, and driving the pilings into the mud, into the clay, into the sand, after 3-4 meters, the wooden pole or piling, call it as you want, it will reach a bedrock. Then you put planks of wood, you make a raft, and on the top of it you build the foundation of the buildings. Inside the mud and the clay, the wood rich in resin will never rot. It will petrify. So it's a fossilized forest of 30 million poles. It's crazy. It's like a forest turned upside down. Up on the top of this bridge, you have the soles of the shoes engraved. 4 shoes. And the name of this bridge is very special. The Bridge of the Punches. This bridge, the Bridge of the Punches, because for many centuries we had a rivalry between 2 gangs of people. Venice is divided into 6 districts.
Oh.
We don't have the quarter. We have the sestiere. It's a different word. This is the Dorso Duro. You are in Santa Croce. Dorso Duro, Santa Croce, San Polo. You cross the Grand Canal and you have San Marco, Castello, Cannareggio. Every district had a local governor that was on the side of the Doge, the Duke, the president of the city-state, and the 2 extreme point of the city, we can say the west end and the east end. The west end of Dorso Duro and the east end, like West Side Story. The west end, San Nicolò dei Mendicoli, one of the oldest churches in the city, had a gang of fishermen that were fighting against the rival gangs of Castello, the sestiere of the carpenters. They were one against the other. What was the reason? That they accused each other for the murder of the patriarch, of the bishop. And the Venetian Republic was very disappointed because there was too much blood shed in the city. There was a problem of security. So they said, okay, let's establish 2 places in the city, 2 bridges. One here and one in Cannareggio with the soles of the shoes. And the people will fight exclusively with the punches, like a boxing. The bridges 500 years ago didn't have the rails. Until 200 years ago, all the bridges were open, so you can imagine a boxing match lasted probably 3 minutes, and the first who fell into the water was the loser, and there were all the members of the gang helping him, rescuing him, so nobody died. But in this way, they tested the agility, the skills, the fighting skills, and they found a way to select the best troops for the navy. Because in Europe, there was not a professional army. There was no professional army. They were all volunteers, soldiers of venture, and no professional army. So it became from a sport. It became a way to select the troops. So we had the boxing, and we had many other activities like the casino.
Ah.
Look at this. The casino. And this is a spy eye. This is an old spy eye which worked lifting a tile of the pavement. Just lifting a tile of the pavement. There are a couple of places where it still works. Casino is a Venetian word. Casino means little house, piccola casa.
Thank you.
And what is the meaning? The meaning of casino is
It's just a black hole, but
Yep.
got it.
the meaning of casino is club.
Huh.
A little house for a small number of people. And it was not for gambling, not necessary for gambling. This was a casino dei nobili. Nobili means nobleman. A casino of the nobleman sounds apparently like a club for
Right.
rich aristocrats. They go there for gambling and smoke cigars. And well, it's not the real thing. The government of the city was made of noblemen. 5% of the population who sat in the parliament, like a kind of House of the Lords. If you were a family of the Golden Book, you had the right to be represented in the parliament. So it was an oligarchic republic for a long period of time. What happened? Venice reached the peak of its wealth between the 12th and the 1400s. After the 1400s, we started little by little, slowly to decline. And not all the noblemen were anymore rich. We had some noblemen who were, I'm not saying poor, but they even had some aid for social housing, and but they were not criminals, so they didn't lose the title. They still sit in the parliament, but the risk was bribery. When we vote for the president, if these less rich noblemen accept the money under the table, they can move a portion of the votes to one doge instead of another. Some prefer, so it could be a problem. So they gave them a casino to manage. They were the managers of the casino, getting
how it
extra
started.
money.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a club for noblemen. No, it was a casino where the croupier, given the cards, was a poor nobleman.
Huh.
We have a lot of this humor.
You see.
This is part of the city, is full of life, especially between Friday and Sunday, because it's a university area.
Oh.
Venice has a university which is not the oldest in Italy, not as old as Bologna or Padua, but it has become a big university. It all started with the languages and economy. As a city port, Venice had a lot of different languages, and is the first place where people come to study Chinese, Japanese, Hindi. And so we have quite a big population of students. The Ca' Foscari University. And then there's another. There is another good point for this big street party. That in Venice there are no cars, so people come here. They have.
See.
100 spritz and they don't have any drive test, alcohol test. Now let's turn right. Later we will see the Grand Canal in about 10 minutes. The Grand Canal is the main waterway that, if you look at the map, it's like Venice has a shape like a fish. And the spine of the fish is like a double S, like a fish with a scoliosis. I like to say. And on the Grand Canal, right and left, there are the most important palaces. Usually they were the main family houses. But these families were huge families with a lot of different properties, like second, third, fourth palace. So these were all noblemen, Christian palaces. That one, for example, is the palace of the University, Applied Linguistics, Cabendo. In the 16th century was famous for the garden. This hotel that we're going to see in a while in front of us after the ATM machine is a Gothic palace of the 1400s. Palazzo Nani Mocenigo. Nani Mocenigo Palace. And this was the Department of Economy in the 80s and the Department of Philosophy in the 90s. So there's not a campus. We have all patrician palaces, like more than 20. One palace, one department. It's a nightmare for the students, especially the Italian, who are the majority. The first year when they come to Venice to study, when they cross the bridge, and it's a nightmare to understand where they have to go to attend the different classes. It's scattered all over, but it's fascinating because you are having your lessons in a palace that sometimes is 400, 500, 600 years old, with the stuccos, the frescoes. It's crazy. This was a department, and at the time when I studied, here it was possible also to smoke in the hall. Now it's a hotel. It has been sold by the university to private. You can just imagine, it's easy to imagine what was the level of wealth to rise such big palaces. They were all merchants. If you don't have land, you must trade. And this city was exactly between the east and the west. And especially after Marco Polo opened a new route to Asia, Venice became extremely rich. It was the transit of all the precious goods between east and west, between north and south, gold, silver, brocades, silks, fabrics, spices. So these palaces were family houses and business shops, atelier. There you can see the gondolas. You can see the gondola, and this is the only gondola shipyard, the only one of the 5 gondola shipyards that we still have in the city, where the family is still living. Actually, they don't live anymore, but they rent that little house. It looks like a mountain, alpine chalet. Because there is a legend about the gondola. The gondola, have you noticed that the gondola is asymmetrical? It's like a banana. And they said the gondola is asymmetrical because the carpenters were people from the mountains and they didn't have idea how to make a straight boat. They were not good carpenters. So they made a mistake, and the Venetians found a way to adapt. And they discovered that this mistake was not so bad. It could even be an advantage, because if you have one side, the right side, shorter than the left, and you have just one oar in your hand from the stern, a single push will help to go straight. One side compensates the other. It's not true. It was not a mistake at all. It was just a way to mock the people from the mountain. It was studied for centuries. 130 years ago, the gondola became asymmetrical. They found the perfect measures, and they are still building according to that mold, like 130 years ago. Before it was straight, larger and shorter. The gondola has changed many times, and they produce one gondola, 2 gondolas per year, not more. Can you imagine the side of the boat made of wood is a piece of oak that must be bended with the water and the fire. A single piece of 11 meters attached to the ribs. See, we don't have the cars, but
Yes, you'll have the
we
radio.
have fun in our way. Eh?
Is there still one bridge without any rails on it?
Yes, there is one.
Yeah, one, right?
There is one in Canareggio. There is one Remain. One bridge left without the rails. It's a private bridge taken to a house.
Okay.
And one in Burano, in Torcello.
Okay.
The very remote island of the lagoon. If you have time at leisure tomorrow, you can take the water bus, 24 hours card, and you can go to the lagoon to see Torcello, Burano, Murano, the glass. Are you having a full day tomorrow?
See.
Yeah. The other side of the city, we are in Dorso Duro. This is Dorso Duro, but it's called Dorso Duro Giudecca. Back in the old times, that was not considered Dorso Duro district. It was not considered Venice. It all started because of the Giudecca was higher than the other islands, good for cultivation, and a lot of rich people bought the land. There are 4 bigger islands with some fresh water, and they could have a summer house with vineyards. And now today the Giudecca is very industrial. A lot of shipyards. There were until the 80s there was a brewery. There was a industry making watches, a mill. But it's the only part of the city that is not connected by any bridges. So 5,000 people living there, they need to take the water bus.
Or swim.
Or swim. Or swim. And now, swim can be interesting. We have the dolphins. If you make friendship with a dolphin, you can it's like having a water scooter. You can reach San Marco much faster. And there you see, there's a very monumental church.
Yes.
There. It's one of the most important churches in the city. Made by an architect who became a celebrity, Palladio. Palladio has been recognized by the US Congress in 2010 as the father of the Jefferson style.
Oh, okay.
That church is called the Church of the Redeemer. So tomorrow, if you buy the water bus ticket, you can go to the Giudecca if you want. It's very off the beaten tracks. And that church was built to celebrate the end of the plague. The end of the plague. We had the plague visiting us every 50 years. It was very difficult. Life was really rough and tough. Every 50 years, sometimes even every 30 years, we have some episodes of plague, which sometimes killed 30% of the population. Venice was a big republic. We had territories to Crete and Cyprus, so it was not impossible to repopulate. We could call people from other territories, overseas and from the mountains, but The problem was there was no cure, so we invented the system of the quarantine. Quarantine is a Venetian word. It was an island to isolate the ships for 40 days. Must have been very funny, eh? They smoked all the goods with medical herbs. Then the goods arrived to the city, terribly stinky. The fabrics, the carpets, it must have been terrible smell. And the people waited, the sailors waited in the island 40 days to see if they developed symptoms. So one of the big plague in 1575 was terrible. And 1 year after, we decided to build a church. We put the first stone and consecrated with the patriarch, and we immediately started, before the church was finished, to cross the water every third Saturday of July every year on a bridge on barges for 3 days. It's a tradition that we still have today. So the Giudecca is connected to Venice only 3 days per year. We have a bridge on 28 pontoons, and you can go back and forth.
When is that?
And every third Saturday of July, every year. Third Saturday of July. It's a date.
We're gonna have to watch it.
Terzo sabato di luglio. You have to come. It's very funny. We have a big party. We put all the tables in the outside. We have food and wine. All the little boats, private boats, they drop the anchor and they occupy the entire canal. The traffic is closed, and we have a party from 5-6 p.m. to 3-4 in the morning with the big fireworks. If you arrive too late with your private boat, it's better to have a bag full of ice. Deliver the ice, they will help you to get your slot. Or a bottle of wine. It's usually the typical currency.
Sure.
And Rio Terra, another canal filled with terra, soil. This was the most important canal connection between the Grand Canal and the Giudecca until 300 years ago. And you can tell that even the convents, the old convents on the side of the churches, they had the garage for the boats. Look at those arches. Those were the typical garage recovery for the small boats.
Huh.
Now, if I had a garage like this close to my house, I could rent it for 2,000 euro. No, 1,000 euro per month.
How do people feel about the canals being filled in?
Oh, it's
They wanted it?
Today we have stopped to fill canals. So the last canals have been filled like 150 years ago.
Oh wow.
So today we are like, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
But probably in the past people were also disappointed. So, maybe. Because
The value.
today Venice is much more pedestrian than it used to be. 300 years ago, it wasn't normal for all the people to have a boat. Nowadays, it's only a minority of people owning a boat. It's less than 50% of the Venetians have a boat. We move by walk, public transport. It's a problem because the boats are bigger. There's no parking.
Sure. Space issue.
Space issues, exactly. Most of the docks they have the priority for the trading, so for all the supermarkets, restaurants, of course, ambulance, water ambulance, taxi. now you start to see the beautiful Palazzo Franchetti. That is a new Gothic palace. It has been modernized in new Gothic style 150 years ago. Palazzo Franchetti with a beautiful garden on the Grand Canal. And on the left side you have the Accademia Gallery. So for those who are in this group interested in art, the most beautiful collection of paintings, sculptures and any kind of art items are here in the Accademia. It's one of the top 10 Pinacothèque art galleries in Italy.
Huh.
Pay attention.
Vediamo di non andare di là.
And that big dome at the top of the white church, that Baroque church, built after the plague of 1631. The Holy Mary, Virgin Mary of the Health, Santa Maria della Salute, is the end of the Grand Canal, ending with the customs office, the former customs office, which was there, where you see that sphere, that globe, gold color. We are not far from St. Mark's there. The others are the most important places on the Grand Canal, much higher than the average. This little wing of the palace was added in the modern time to get more space and light. It's really magnificent, and a couple of years ago they have opened a bar and restaurant. It's the Venetian Institute of Science, Literature and Art.
Wow.
It's a very important public institution.
It's beautiful.
But it's still very expensive though too. The maintenance, so the restaurant and the luxury restaurant and the bar may really help to
offset some of the expenses.
Yeah, because they pay very high rent.
Sure.
The well. You have the well and you have the water tap. That doesn't work anymore. So the first aqueduct with the water tap, and here there's the filter that used to work for the rain to purify the rainwater and make it drinkable. So it was a filter with sandy layers that were very useful to add minerals. We know that the rain, the snow, they do not have taste. So it's like they work like a creek up in the mountains, adding the minerals and making the water good for human consumption. This system worked very well. I mean, we are still here. I'm not an older generation of Venetians, but yeah, I know Venetians that have 7, 8, 10 generations behind. So it means that it worked. Not perfectly, but it worked quite well. It was in a way safer than many other cities. Can you imagine in the Middle Age, in the cities at the top of the hills in Tuscany, very often the sewage system was in the outside, on the side of the street.
Yep.
Here it went into the water. Every 6 hours you have the change of the tide. So if you don't, if you pay attention with that water and you don't, let's say, swim in the dirty canals, it's safer than the average.
That's great.
So it was great, and the system was all full of clay. inside because the clay kept the water clean and fresh. The problem was when the tide was too high. When the tide went beyond 1 meter, 1 meter and 10, the
Everything.
salty water went inside the well, and the well had to be reactivated again, cleaned, and it has a nice sound, huh? Like that percussion.
The steel drum.
Means field and legal field. So the name square, piazza, here it does not exist except for St. Mark Square. That is the only piazza that we have. So this is a city of exceptions. The streets are called calle, not via. The piazza are called campo. The piazza is only one. One strada, one via. It's a city with all the different names. This building is the tallest building on the Grand Canal and the highest and the biggest. But as you can see, look at the beauty of the frescoes and the stuccos. This is today the Music Academy, Benedetto Marcello, Palazzo Pisani. The main entrance clearly is not from the water here, it's from the land. So how it can be the biggest palace on the Grand Canal? Well, it wasn't. At the beginning, this family aimed to reach the Grand Canal, but they couldn't. They had another little palace, very little, very mediocre, close to them. They knocked down all the houses around because they bought all the properties. They wanted to be the first, the biggest, and they raised this skyscraper. This palace today still have problem of stability because it's really too much. And they made the palace. Anyway, they waited for the other family to die, to extinguish, and they had no heirs. They bought the palace, they knocked down the wall, and they opened their path to the Grand Canal. So this is the palace, the biggest in the city, but with the smallest entrance on the Grand Canal. And it's not the real palace, it's one palace plus a small one attached. But reaching the Grand Canal was fundamental. You couldn't say I have the biggest palace of Venice. No, nobody cared if you didn't have the entrance from the water. This is the story. The entrance on the Grand Canal is a facade as big as this white palace.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
People who are not Venetians, they don't know. They think it's a palace just at the land, the entrance from the land. But it has been used 2 times in 2 movies because of the beautiful court. I'm not going to show you now because it's under reconstruction. Under restoration. The it's very cinematographic, and the James Bond,
Of course.
Moonraker,
Yep.
and Casino Royale. The famous palace in Casino Royale, which at the end of the movie crumble and falls into the water. Is that one? Well, the fight is inside the palace, but the palace falling into the water is another one.
Right.
They made a reconstruction of another palace on the Grand Canal. But the last fight between Daniel Craig, the criminal, with the death of Vesper takes place there.
Okay. Watch that.
That's great.
And it's quite a funny story, because if you remember that scene, the palace scrambled down and fell because it was in inflatable balloons. There were the wooden pilings under restoration, so there were inflatable balloons instead to hold the palace. So shooting to each other, the old inflatable balloon blasted, and little by little the palace went down.
That's great.
I can tell you that this has never happened in Venice. There are no inflatable balloons.
Yeah, everywhere, right?
Yeah. Yes, with payment correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably like 2010 or something. It was a good movie. I love that. We also said Moonraker, which I actually watched on the plane over here. Really? But I don't remember which scene was it.
He was in the gondola. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, alright, that's right. Yeah, never mind. The guy's in the coffin boat, jumps out.
Bella. Dai che fai fare però e lasci tanto su tranquilli.
Can you imagine two-way traffic on this?
Bene. So now Giorgio is gonna leave us until 7. He will reach us back at 7. He's leaning a lot, huh?
See.
Yeah. See?
I remember the last Mardi Gras we had in 2019 before the COVID, and I met a man in the middle of the night with a white mask, because of the original Venetian mask is white, and he told me in Italian, ma quella torre è davvero così pendente? Is that tower really leaning?
No.
And I said, yes, it's leaning. How can you tell? Com'è che tu puoi essere sicuro? Because you said that tower, not those towers. It means that you are drunk, but you're still, your brain is still, your eyes are still working. It's the most leaning tower inside the city. There is a reinforcement at the base that to avoid further,
Good.
further movements, let's say, so it keeps in balance the Tower of San Maurizio. No worries, we're never gonna walk up. We will walk on this side, so in case that it falls, it will.
Oh, I'm fast. I can outrun it.
You're fast, all right? It's impressive. I mean, if you go back to the mainland to the day after tomorrow, you will have a sensation, a feeling like a land city, not city, because here everything is uneven. Everything is lonesome, it's irregular, so there is no straight line, there is no even pavement.
Yeah, our room is tilted.
I go back to the mainland for shopping every once per month, and the first 20 minutes are dramatic. I feel strange. We are not far from St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco. The one and the only piazza that we have. Look at this corner. It has a fairy tale. These very oriental Arabic arches.
Yeah.
It's our Gothic style, very oriental looking. And this is the entrance of our opera theater. It was, today not anymore, but today it is used only for the installations when they change the program to bring the materials in and out. But in the past, when they, sorry, can you please move, just thank you, a little bit. Huh? In the past, when they built this palace, they destroyed, knocked down part of the buildings on the right side of the canal to make the access easier for the gondolas to be able to maneuver. Because the box holders that were that privately owned the theater until 1935, they wanted to go to the theater with their private gondola. So this was the entrance. Not from the land. The entrance from the land is more beautiful, but this was the private, for exclusive for few people. Backstage. The name of this theater is.
Here's my order.
The name of this theater is Phoenix, Fenice. Grande Opera Fenice. There must be a reason to have such a name. La Fenice, Phoenix, you know, the bird rising from the ash. In 1789, 8 years before the fall of the Venetian Republic, when before Napoleon arrived, when the last Doge resigned and gave the keys of the city to Napoleon, the French, this city was famous all over Europe for the cultural life, for the theaters, the casino and the theaters. 7 theaters, all private. People didn't have to buy the ticket because you were invited or not. Music, comedy, opera was all for free. Financed by the rich families. And the box holders were all patricians or rich bourgeois. And a group of box holders of the theater of San Benedetto, in 1788, they lost their theater because the owner of the building sold the building. And they were so pissed off by this decision that they both, after this knocked down everything and raised the biggest theater of the city, calling it Phoenix, Fenice. Like, you have fired us, and now we rise from the ash. Here it is. There is a little story about this name. The theater, opera theater Fenice, that today is the second most important in Italy after La Scala in Milano, has burnt into fire 2 times. And 2 times it has been rebuilt. So the first version lasted 1792, 1836, 48 years. Then it burnt into fire for a malfunction in the stove, and it was rebuilt with that style, the picture that you see there. This version lasted until 1996. In 1996 there was a second fire, but this time it was not a technical issue, it was the mafia It was the mafia of the kind. They were not mafia people, but they acted like mafia. They burnt, they lit a little fire. They were in charge for the electrical equipment. And these horrible people, criminals, they thought to control the fire, to make a little damage, to get more money from the insurance, both from insurance and from the municipality, with the extension of the deadline. 6 months, 1 year more to recover from a little fire, but they lost control and the entire box is burnt. It's all the theater made of wood. Thanks God we had the archive of the theater that didn't burn. The archive had all the pictures, all the photographs, all of the works made by the architects. Bunches of paper, the newspapers of the second reconstruction with the journalists. They had an incredible archive. Nothing has been touched and nothing has been wasted. So they could make a new version completely the same as it was. Also thanks to our artisans, because gold leaf, wood carving, the gondola, paper mache for the mask, carnival mask and for the decoration. They were still alive, all these craftsmen. So they could make a perfect replica. When it was remade, we said, my God, this looks older than the old. It was such an amazing job. And the phoenix rise again from the ash. It's one of the most beautiful places to visit. If you come during the day, there is a bar, you can have coffee, the ticket is affordable, you have a nice, very nice audio guide, and if you are lucky, you can see the musicians play. Because you will visit all of the boxes and the royal stage. That royal stage was knocked down and rebuilt 1 million times because Napoleon built it, the first empire. Then there was the Austrian Empire. Vienna was our capital after Waterloo. And the Venetians, for 6 months, they kicked the Austrians out. They made a republic again, so they destroyed the royal palace and they made all the boxes equal. The Austrians came back again and they rebuilt the royal stage. It's a very troubled story. And finally, with the fall of the fascist regime, when we were a monarchy, we decided to keep it. Don't touch it anymore. Let's keep it the royal stage. It will be for the president of the republic, or the prime minister, or the big guest. But it's full of mirrors inside. It's really a place breathtaking. It has a beautiful chandelier made in Liverpool in the middle. Beautiful. The Beatles chandelier.
Beatles and chandeliers.
Because there's a huge amount of wood inside the buildings. Here,
or
yeah.
boats. By boat.
Here we had the problem in 1996 because the theater is surrounded by narrow alleys and it has a little square in front. So the problem was to spray the water, and then it's not something like when what's the name of oh my God, Notre Dame in Paris, when it burnt into fire. There was that genius of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who said that they have to use the Canadair. Can you imagine in an old building if you use the Canadair and just with the water, the weight of the water falling from the sky for Notre Dame, you're gonna destroy if you use the Canadair. Same here. And so they couldn't, there was no way to
Just let it take its course.
burn, so all the wooden parts burned completely. The problem problem is the narrow streets. Of course, we have the firefighters with their boats. We have here and there, you see those red hydrants. We are very efficient, but in certain conditions, the conformation of the city it has a lot of limits. It's the safety. Safety is a big problem in this city. If you are an elderly person living here, one of these apartments, and you need aid, medical aid, ambulance. Yeah. It's quite complicated. The ambulance can reach the closest point and the dock everywhere, but then the main problem is always for the paramedics to go upstairs, reach, and sometimes go down the stairs. The stairs are very narrow. I have seen a couple of times people that were helped to out of the window with a special crane because there was people overweight with it. It's a really a house with an elevator. It has a price per square feet here. Extremely high.
Now what ends up on YouTube.
Now we turn right. We have a very important orientation landmark: the sexy lingerie
Again.
and the pharmacy. The two things are
Together.
connected, of course, somehow. Because if you come from the square, if you want to go to the theater, remember this shop and the pharmacy. Okay. This is for after the theater, but
Or during.
no, it's really 2 minutes from the square. It's the shortest way to go to the Fenice.
No, because she's just so nice.
Turn left. Turn left to the mask shop.
Oh, that's
The
more.
square is behind this building, so when you cross the square, you have a very easy orientation landmark if you want to go to the theater, because it's the mask shop and then the other two shops. All right. Yeah, these are the puppets. But there you can see that
yeah.
there is a mask.
Yep, with the long nose.
With one with a long nose, and that is the doctor of the plague. It's a real medical tool, you know. He was a French doctor who invented. He was a recipient with two open sides to pass the air, and you could breathe the air across these medical herbs. The air went, and so that it was helpful to cover the bad smell of the hospitals during the plague. And the doctor of the plague had a very round big hat, a stick to touch the patient, big boots. It was recognizable. So when they saw the doctor of the plague with the mask on the street, it was time to go home. It was really important. Today is a is a mockery. The doctor of the plague. The other one with the big
Chin. Yeah.
triangular beak and the hat, white, was the real mask. So if we take the machine of the time and we go back to even 300 years ago, it's enough. And we arrive in Venice in a carnival day between the Epiphany and the Ash Wednesday. The Ash Wednesday, we would find in the street people like this.
Yeah.
This would be the typical encounter. Men and women, all dressed like this. Because the main problem was to remain anonymous. They gave you the permission to celebrate Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, fun. It's a Mardi Carnevale, means the carne, the meat as a value. Meat, also flesh, the body pleasure, hedonism. But the church wanted to control the population. They wanted to control the population, and in this way, and they put the inquisitors, the secret police, in the street. So the Venetians reacted all with a white mask. They all look the same: a white mask, three-corn hat, and a black shawl. It was even difficult to sometimes distinguish men and women. The long beak, all for the boys, and made possible to eat and drink. To pass the donut, typical donut, the frittella, a glass of wine, without taking the mask off. St. Mark Square, Piazza San Marco. Now you realize why it's only one piazza.
See.
Because we have struggled 10 centuries to finish this square.
Right.
10 centuries to have the definitive version of this square. It was narrower, then it became larger, then it was, and in the ancient times there was a canal in the middle to be filled. A lot of water, very low. It's the lowest point of the square of the city. When the first place flooded. 2019 we had a water high like this. It's a square, and it's a square port because the bigger part of the Grand Canal, the St. Mark's Basin, is the port of it was the port of Venice. It was very strategical, the position. Not exactly the best for the tide,
Sure.
the worst for the tide, but the most strategical for the position. At the end of the Grand Canal, for trade, that was like the Fifth Avenue, and close to the mouth of the harbor, closer to the open sea. The bell tower of St. Mark, 99.6 meters high. It was a lighthouse.
I didn't know that.
It was a lighthouse. It also worked as a lighthouse. And it's the last original thing because it has been rebuilt in 1912 after it collapsed. And we were very lucky because it collapsed vertically without making any damages to the buildings around. I'm quite sure that even people who didn't believe in St. Mark that day, they started to have serious doubt because it collapsed vertically, making just a little damage to the corner of the library. the church of St. Mark remained intact, untouched, just completely covered with dust. It's a church that is like other churches in Italy, very unique. But if you ever travel to Istanbul, Constantinople, you will find this architecture. And the reason is that when we escaped from the barbarians, we remained under the influence of Constantinople. Constantinople was the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. It remained for other 1,000 years, and we became a province in the west of the Byzantine Empire, Byzantine or Byzantine. This is why it's so different, because we copied the models of the churches in our capital city. That was our capital for 4 centuries. So we took the model of the Greek cross with the 5 domes, but finally we became so powerful that in 1204 we got rid of Constantinople, invading with the 4th Crusade, and this is why we have the 4 horses. Because the 4 horses were stolen from Constantinople. That was the peak of the military power of Venice, one of the moments of maximum peak of military power. Then, there is always a karma. That's the building of Napoleon, started by Napoleon, 1797, 1806. He knocked down a church, he razed his royal palace, and while he was still building his royal palace, he lost the war in Waterloo. And what happened? The Austrians finished the palace. Now the new capital was Vienna. And if you look at the 14 statues at the top, you will find an empty space in between. Because that was supposed to be originally the space for Napoleon. Nobody wanted to put any character there. They left the space empty. Maybe it has some kind of superstition or wisdom, I don't know. Anyway, that's the karma also for Napoleon.
Good.
And also the end of Austria, then the Italian monarchy. It's 180 meters with 10 centuries of life. In only 180 meters, between 828 and the middle of the 19th century. It's a lot. It's like a zip file. You have squeezed thousands of informations. What were the buildings on the side? There were shopping mall. It was like a shopping mall with a lot of artisans since the 16th century, and the offices and apartments. Where you see that fancy restaurant, there was the office of one of the 9 procurators of the Republic that managed the money for the church. There were 9 procurators that had a full charge, and when they were elected by the Republic, they stayed inside they lived in the square until they died. Like the Doge, the president lived inside the palace. So this is all a governmental and religious area. If you follow me, I'm gonna show you how the Apostle St. Mark arrived to the city. Because we have seen the tragedy of Napoleon and the tragedy of the fall of Venice there, but here we have a kind of comedy in the corner of this church. This church has 10,000 square meters of mosaics made of glass and marbles. Between the pavements, the vaults, the dome, and a lot of gold. That yellow mosaic is all gold leaf 24 carats. What happened to the Venetians is that when this square was still not a square but just a bunch of islands with a lot of water, and the Doge's Palace was still a castle with 4 towers, we already had a saint, a patron, and the patron is that guy. Attenzione.
Attenzione!
And that guy, he was our patron, Saint Theodore. You see, he's standing on a dragon, like Saint George and the dragon. He's defending our backwaters against the monster. But the problem was that the relics, the dead body of that saint, we loved it, but it was not our choice. It was given to us by the emperor in Constantinople. So what happened to the poor Theodore is that Theodore was downgraded from the first saint to the second. It's really what happened to him, because the tradition of Venice was the same mark. We were convinced, we convinced ourselves very smartly that the people who evangelized this population in this lagoon was the apostle Saint Mark. But Saint Mark, there was a little problem. He was not, he didn't die very close to Venice. He died in Alexandria of Egypt. And so the Venetians in 828 organized an expedition aiming to arrive first on spot in the tomb of Saint Mark, and they went to Alexandria of Egypt. They took the body out of the tomb. They extracted the body from the tomb. The body was a mummified body, almost 800 years old. And then there was a little problem that the day after, the custom policemen, in this modern mosaic you can see their dressing code is very clear, turban hat, and the custom policemen, the day after, they would ask, okay guys, what's your name, where are you from, where are you going to, where are you traveling to, do you have anything to declare, and they had to open the basket. And you see the moment of the inspection in this modern mosaic. One custom policeman dressed in blue is clenching the nose for the bad smell. Another one is moving away disgusted by the vision. The vision of what? We are in Egypt and the mummified body is a normal thing. Oh, it was not the body of Saint Mark. It was a bunch of vegetables covering the body of Saint Mark, stinky cabbages and fruits, rotten fruits, and any kind of food, and something that the Muslims and the Jews were not allowed to touch, pork. So here we are in front of a comedy. If you look at the two guys with the green shirt and the red shirt, you can tell that we're in front of two characters, like in the comedy of the art. The one dressed in red is opening abruptly the basket, he's very nervous. The other in green, he looks the good guy versus the bad guy. The one in green, look at his eyes. The hand is on the heart and saying, "Oh, sorry, we didn't know that. Please let us go. Please, please, we can pay a fine. We didn't want." You know, he's acting like a nice traveler. I go to India, I sit in a restaurant and I ask her to bring me some basmati rice with beef. It's not exactly a smart move, especially in Rajasthan, in the north. Anyway, this is what they did, and it worked. So they cheated the custom policeman. Is it true? We don't know. I mean, it was a 4 months of navigation from Alexandria of Egypt. Maybe they passed some money under the table, and then they invented the whole story to make the story more interesting. But it became official. It became official. After this big achievement, Saint Mark arrived here, and years to officialize symbolize the symbol of the winged lion. The winged lion will definitely, 400 years later, become the flag of the city. And it was a very important symbol because St. Mark is the state and the church. And the man kneeling in front of him is the Doge, the president, elected by the parliament. He was, until the end of his life, he made a promise to serve the state, to be not above the law. This was quite a clear way to communicate to a lot of different people from different parts of the world. This was, of course, multicultural, that we were not a kingdom, we were a republic. A very important message.
Is it said that St. Mark's relics are still here?
You see the relics, yeah, but you know, up in the sky, close at the top of the arch, or there at the top of the church, or one more time at the top of the bell tower, you have Venice, Venezia, Venezia Giustizia, justice. Holding the scales of justice, sitting on a throne with a sword, and this was also very clear. How can we communicate the idea of justice? We have a story from the Bible. That really helped. Where is the court of justice? Of course, the court of justice is behind this corner. You see, behind Solomon, the judge. Solomon in front of the two women that were arguing for the kid. The kids were two, one died at night, the kid remained one, and the two women were arguing, who is the real mother? Solomon said, if you don't tell me who is the real mother, I'm gonna chop the kid into slices. And the mother is running to stop the soldier, saying, give it to her, she's the mother. She lied, but the kid was safe. She demonstrated. Anyway, this was a message that could put together people from different languages and different religions, but the Bible was a very important common book. People knew that the court of justice is here behind. So this city was a Babel. Do you want to see Babel with me? Huh? Follow me, I'm gonna show you the faces of Babel. The faces of Babylon, the Tower of Babylon. It's not exactly the languages of the Pentecost that are inside the church, but it's about a bubble of language. If you visit the church tomorrow, you will find inside the church a beautiful mosaic about the miracle of the tongue. But here there is a capital. There's a capital that tells stories about a lot of stories about the different merchants and languages. We have Egypt, Persians, Latin, Tartars, Turks, Hungarian, and Greeks. All these faces are kind of portraits with different hats, beard, eyes, of the merchants that were here at the time of the renovation. When it became a palace, they took inspiration from the merchants in the square. These are all different, so these are the Persians. And they were the merchants of So if you decide tomorrow to go to the Burano Island, and you prefer to come to the square first with the daylight, you know that in Murano the glass factories they close at 4. I suggest you to go there at 2 before it's too late. Then you can go to Burano, the other island with the colorful houses, and that island is always connected. So with the 24 hours you can always come back. But if you decide if you are in the square and you want to go to Murano and Burano, it's better to take the line 4 from here. You cross the next 2 bridges and then you will find the line 4. You have a monument with a horse, Hotel Londra Palace, Londra Palace Hotel, and then you have the line 4. It's 2 bridges away from here, and there you have the line that goes to Murano first. Then from Murano, the line 12 to Burano. Because it doesn't make sense if you are already in the square to go to Fondamente 9, which is the shortest cruise, but there's a lot to walk. So if you are already in the square, go from here. Or you can go directly to Burano with the line 14. There is one every hour, Lido and Burano. 24 hours ticket is the best because you have multiple runs for you are covered 24 hours and you can take it as many times as you want. It's a flat rate, 25 euro. It's better. One ticket is 9.5 euro, so 75 minutes is the most expensive in Europe. So it's better than 24 hours.
Yeah.
There you see, you recognize the white church we saw
Si,
before,
si.
the Salute and the customs office and the Redeemer. So we did a lot of walking, We did a lot of walking. Okay, I'm gonna show you the Bridge of Sighs quickly, and then we go to Rialto to meet Giorgio again.
Oh, I love this bridge.
Before I'm showing you the Bridge of Sighs, you're gonna probably have multiple spritz between this evening and tomorrow evening. Okay, so this is a very good advertise. Drink responsibly. We knew this problem of the spritz, especially the spritz with Campari, since the time of Noah. This is the drunkenness of Noah from the Bible. In fact, behind the tree you have the 3 sons of Noah. It's a story about justice, actually. So we are again in the court of justice, and we have the Ponte dei Sospiri, the Bridge of Sighs. Ponte dei Sospiri. 2 windows looking at the sky, 2 windows looking at the city. 1 corridor to go to prison, 1 corridor to get out of prison. But the sighs were not very frequently 4 sighs, they were usually 2. The average, the life expectancy was so after they built this bridge in 1614 to connect the palace to the new prison, when Lord Byron, the poet, arrived to Venice, he was so impressed by the place that this was still used as a prison. It would be used until 1921, this prison. He was so impressed, so touched by the situation that he wrote the poem Bridge of Sighs, Ponte dei Sospiri. So it's the official name thanks to Lord Byron. And here you have, when you make a judgment, pay attention. You have the three brothers. Yafet is scared. Look at his hands. Cam is judging badly. Sam is helping his father to get covered. It's clearly about the justice, and it's one of the most beautiful Gothic statues that we have in Italy. It's still the original, old 700 years, made by Filippo Calendario. This palace is opened every day from 9 to 5, and is magnificent. What you will see inside is not Gothic, it's all Renaissance, because the palace burnt into fire 3 times in less than 100 years, and it was renovated in the interiors with the best painters of the time. All oil on canvas, beautiful wooden card, wooden ceiling with gold leaf. It's really, really amazing. And those are very good explanations. And something special. This is a place that is found. There is always a discount for students who have a student's card. This is the entrance. So we have a winged lion of St. Mark there at the top of the column. Actually, if you focus your attention, if you focus on the face, you realize that the mouth is not the mouth of a lion.
Huh.
Look at the head, look at the mouth.
What is it?
Is a dragon that looks like a lion from the distance. You see the mouth is very large. The Venetians added 2 wings. So from the more you get far from it, the more it seems about a lion. We call it lion, but it's not a lion. It will be probably by the 8th of December.
Okay.
For sure the 8th of December, but I'm sure they will turn the light on before. This year they have started quite in advance. Quite in advance. Like every year, it's always earlier and earlier and earlier. I mean, next time it will be in August. We'll start with the panettone. Hey, it's all very commercial.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Unleashed dogs.
Unleashed dogs, yeah.
Well, it depends. Here in Venice, we have 17,000 dogs. It's a population of about 17,000. It would be nice one day to give them the right to vote for the mayor, because with losing 1,000 people every year is very hard. It's very hard to get a mayor that is not representative of the island and not of the mainland. Because the municipality is made of mainland and lagoon. But here, most of the dogs are leashed.
確かに。
Where did you see I have two dogs. One is 5 years old, a Dachshund, and the other is a Jack Russell. And the Jack is 15 years old. And if I reach him, we will never get him. Because he wants to stay free. It's completely. I mean, he's an old, nowadays he's an old anarchist. He doesn't want to. But I understand him. He's a retired old man. If I keep him leashed, he will never walk in the house. He walks with me, he's totally deaf, blind, and but yeah, he walks with the ball in his mouth. He wants to play with the ball at the end time, but he doesn't see. He doesn't see it. But yes, some people believe the dog leashed and the cat is very dangerous. You know what? You have a small, I have a small, very micro because they have the syndrome of Napoleon. They think they are bigger, but they are smaller. And they bark the other dogs all the time. It can be unpleasant. The Dachshund dog.
You've seen a lot more of those. A lot.
In Italy, yeah.
De repente paramos en una plaza y estaba lleno.
No, we are going to the auto, we're very close.
La estación justo ahí estaba. Por aquí o por ahí.
You have the yellow sign. I suggested to use the yellow sign on a paper map because you know, if you use the Google, it may work sometimes, but you will never look around too much. You will follow your phone and you will miss all the details. It's more pleasant if you take the map, you get lost, you will get lost. No worries, and you will always find your way back because you are on an island and it's not such a big city. So it's better to get lost, the experience of getting lost. Yeah, with a paper map or with your, sometimes with the Google, but use the paper map as much as possible. When you are between San Marco and Rialto Bridge, you have the yellow sign San Marco Rialto or Rialto Accademia. It's easy to get around. You follow the yellow sign.
How long have you lived in Venice? Okay.
Been out of Venice for about roughly 10 years. I think that in 2015, but stable from 2015. È bellissimo, sai cos'è il Where are you from? Canada. Canada.
Near Toronto.
Near Toronto. So you are not far from US in Toronto.
That's right. No.
You're very close. Niagara Falls.
That's right. Yeah, just about an hour and a half drive.
What is the biggest side of Niagara Falls? Canadian or the US?
Canadian side.
Canadian side is bigger.
That's the big horseshoe, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Between St. Mark Square and the outer bridge of the Grand Canal, there is only one bridge in between. And follow me this way. Take a shortcut, it's all the way around the same building.
Scusi.
And here, if you stop for a while and stay on the right side, you will see another casino. It's another spy eye.
Absolutely great.
And this still works. Is the Alliance Française. Can you please leave a passage, please? Thank you. A spy casino that was what they say in French, boudoir, a place for lovers. It was a gift made by the nobleman Francesco Venier to his wife Elena Priuli. It was the time of the libertines. So he wanted his wife to have her life. Anyone with his separate love affairs. And this was like a not a studio apartment, quite a big apartment with all the stuccos, the musicians playing behind the curtains, and so the casino could be a lot of things, not just for gambling. And today, if you want to learn French privately, there is the Alliance Française from Paris, and you come here because they have both. It's a property of France.
Ah,
They bought it and they opened the French Cultural Institute. Okay?
now those holes. What were they looking for? When you look through, what did they want to
See who's at the door.
To see if you were invited or not.
Check out the door. Okay.
Yeah. You lift up the tile and you can see who is knocking the door.
Like the fisheye lens now that we have.
That's right.
Yeah, like a ring we have running.
It had sound. It had sound. Yeah.
It's all way around the same block of buildings. We went straight to this way again. So the same. Arrows. It's a loop.
Those are cool. Good for a fountain.
We are very close to the bridge. That pastry shop is really good in case that you want to have a light lunch, sandwich, triangular, cold cut sandwiches are very good. And the pastries, of course, has a salad. It's a good quality, it's a local place. And in front of us we have the main water bus station of the city, Rialto, the midpoint of the Grand Canal. Most of the commuters that work in San Marco, they are dropped off here because it's the shortest way. The Grand Canal is a very long way.
io sono libero.
And the Rialto Bridge is a bridge that has collapsed a million times. Before the definitive version made of stones, bricks, and 22 pillars, very solid, with 24 shops at the top. In the past, there was a drawbridge in the middle.
Oh.
It was made of wood on pillars in the water, so the pillars had to be replaced several times. They got rot. And the last very famous disaster of Rialto took place during a wedding. And I'm not talking about the wedding of Jeff Bezos.
Oh, good.
In June. I'm talking about the wedding of the Marquise of Ferrara in 1444. She rented the whole Grand Canal for a parade, and there were so many people attending the event that won a bit of emergency that they wanted to see that as she crossed under and she passed, few seconds after the bridge collapsed. That is what has happened during the wedding.
That's great.
I'm sure that Jeff Bezos didn't know this story when he organized the wedding here.
He didn't use the bridge though, I don't think.
But as you can see, he's not the first who made a big wedding in. She even rented the Grand Canal. The bridge is so full of shops at the top because it was the bridge of the jewelers.
Ah.
Here we are. Giorgio. Eccolo qua. Sì, sono qua, eccoti qua, ti vedo.